Welcome to Scarlet Knights football on a beautiful, slightly overcast Friday afternoon. It's a little after 4 o'clock. Billerica is guesting here at Joe Walsh Stadium. The Knights are ready to play, and they will be in the playoffs, I understand, regardless of the outcome of this game. But they are more encouraged, more optimistic about their season now than they've been all season. There's the kick, rolling kick, bounded and picked up. Good blocking in front. There's a hole, cut back nicely, comes out over the 40-yard line. Tripped up and tackled. On the return, that was one of the co-captains, Matt Chico. Matt's fast, good hands, good receiver. Walensky coming out, way out to this side. Tight end on the right. Radulski, hands to Freddie Gavin. Who else? A short gain. Pile up, defense, offense. A lot of players converging in there. So Vente was in on the previous play doing some blocking. He's out and replaced. Max Wolfgang wide here, man in motion, fake. A scrum. Gavin scats back and forth. So 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5, I would say. Radulski has the play from the coach. Wolfgang right. 2 receivers left. Chico and Walensky, and Brutus in the slot. Gavin. Defense by Billerica. They're swarming to the ball. They're definitely playing run on this opening series, and North Andover will kick. Booming punt. Not deep. Hits on the 30 and picked up. That was Seth DeSalvo kicking. He's a 5'10", 160-pound junior. Power kicker. Good on field goals, extra points, punts. We haven't seen him drop kick yet. That would be a surprise. Well, his number would give it away, I guess. So, for Billerica, their quarterback is Nolan Houlihan. He's deep. He's running and brought down nicely. In on the tackle for North Andover. Jack Carbone. Sean Nichols over here at cornerback on this side. Wolfgang left defensive end. 5 men on the scrimmage for North Andover. Quarterback is hit and hit again. Maybe 1. Might have gained 1. So 3rd and 7. Nichols in on that play. Three receivers wide this way for Billerica. Loaded to the near side. We have two defenders out there. He's looking for the short side, deep over the middle. Picked off by North Andover. Running wide and decked by an offensive player coming back. Superb. Jay Smooth. Jay Smooth Mencia with a great interception. North Andover back in business over midfield. Ball is down on the Billerica 40. Peter Radulski, quarterback, calls the signals. Hands to Gavin, looking for a hole. A lot of defense. They're spreading out for Billerica. I would say they're vulnerable for the pass, but it's very early. You don't need to pass here. Just keep working on that run. I would think that's what Coach D has in mind. Keep working on that run. The offensive line's evolving project over the year here. A lot of good linemen. Mike Defoe plays some line today. Slicing through and getting 2 or 3 yards. Mencia rewarded for the pickoff with getting a chance to run the ball. He's fast. Radulski has the plays coming in. Mencia's out. Gavin in. Under center. There's the pitch. Running wide. Nice. Gavin avoiding tacklers, cutting, keeping his balance. Here on the Joe Walsh turf. New synthetic turf here recently, and this year a new scoreboard for Joe Walsh. Scoreboard reads Commonwealth, shop us last. We've all heard that. High formation. Nice blocking on the left-hand side. Gavin just keeps pushing. They're moving the defense back now. That's an indication. Play calling here designed to get the offensive players comfortable with making their blocks, get control of the defenders. Gavin slashing through, but linebackers and defensive end are there. Here comes Defoe in with Vente. So we got some rotation going on in the offensive line. Coach Barry shaking it up. Very, very close. But looks like still almost a yard to go. This is 4th and 1. Undoubtedly the coach will go for it. He's talking to the quarterback. Vente and Defoe, extra blockers come out. Go with a more traditional operation here. Radulski with Gavin to his left. Gives it to Gavin, cuts back, and he is stuffed. I think he made the first down, but then pushed back. We'll see what the spot is. It looks like the officials say they're going to spot it where he was finally tackled. So a lot of running going on so far. Billerica has the ball. 4:39 to go in the opening quarter. And look at that defense by North Andover. 5 yards gained, but that was good aggressive tackling in there by North Andover. They refused to lose. Didn't want to give up an inch. Wolfgang shifts to the right. Brutus, linebacker on this side. And Billerica has Cabrera with the ball that time. It's 5'9", 190. Houlihan hands off, and he is stuffed. Let's see what he gets for a spot, though.
First down on the play.
And they say first down. Thought we had him down, but fakes the handoff, hits a pass to Sean Colby, a 6'2", 190-pound senior. Houlihan, one of the first passes by, well, they did have that interception by Billerica. Sedell and Gualtieri out here.
Hamilton on the carry to Billerica, no gain on the play.
No gain. I think that was Hamilton for Billerica. So 2nd and 10 with 2:25 in the opening quarter here at Joe Walsh. Scarlet Knights, Billerica Indians. Cutback, good pursuit by North Andover's defense. They're playing better. They're playing better. This is an important game for Billerica. They need to win this game to be in the playoff round. North Andover has already qualified. Third down and 8 or 9. Houlihan has the snap, fakes the handoff, pitches it, cut back. It's a first down and more. Well, Billerica. Nathan Young on the carry. Running back also plays defense. Defensive back, 5'8", 160 pounds. Looks a little heavier than that. That was a good run. Had blocking, got to the outside. So Billerica started with running it on the inside. Now they're try a pass. They go to the outside, and the ball is free. North Andover says they have it, and I think they do. They were on it first, and they possess. Recover by linebacker Jake Walensky. North Andover taking advantage of every opportunity, making the breaks. Walensky comes out to this side. There's a pitch to Brutus, cuts back, makes about 7 or 8 yards. Good run, good balance. Staying on your feet on plastic dirt. Jack Roche playing left tackle today, as usual. Wolfgang out here. Brutus in the slot, Gavin, Radulski.
Middle!
There's a ball handed off late. Nice fake.
Picks up the first down.
First down. Matt Chico running across the field, carrying out the fake. Coach Barry communicating to the official, and that is the end of the first quarter without a score. We're here at Joe Walsh. Billerica yet to score. North Andover Knights moving the ball, but haven't yet had that breakout play. It's there.
All proceeds will go to the North Andover High School DECA program. Please come stop by.
The lights are on here. A low ceiling, partly cloudy. Well, I guess it's just a light covering. Sort of moisture at the low altitude. Charlie Regan probably playing right tackle. Chico here. Chico this side.
Yeah, G!
Ricky Brutus on the carry for the Knights. Loses a couple on the play. Will bring up 2nd and 12.
A loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 here early in the second quarter. Gavin. They are really playing Gavin.
3rd and 11.
3rd and more than 10. Brutus wide out here. He's a good pass catcher. Ball down the middle, wide open receiver. Chico all on his own, but he was led a little too much. Peter Radulski quarterbacking there. Through the pass. I think that's his first pass downfield today. And you could see he tried not to throw it too deep, too hard, but the ball stayed up. Ball bounding around, North Andover pursuing it, having touched it. And Andover happy. A lot of good play out there. So Billerica pinned back here. And here comes Billerica with Nolan Houlihan and Nat Young, John Colby, Cabrera, Gualtieri. There's a handoff into the line. 27 hard to bring down. Ryan Hamilton.
On the carry for Billerica. Picks up 4 on the play. Good second down and 6.
Defoe in at a tackle on defense there. In the middle, Jack Roche as well. There's the ball down the middle. There's a pass. Incomplete off the hands.
Intended for Sean Colby. Bring up 3rd and 7.
3rd and 7 coming up for the Indians. Deep in Knights territory. This is an important defensive play. Sean Nichols over here in defense on this side. Houlihan rolls. He has a receiver out there. He decides to run for it.
Houlihan driven out of bounds by the Knights, well short of the first down. Bring up 4th down.
So North Andover holds. Great picture on this beautiful monitor here. Punt formation, North Andover 2 back, Nichols one of them. Punters in the end zone, there's the snap, no rush, just defending. Nichols with the ball. Got behind his blocker, but 3 tacklers, 1 blocker, and he comes up limping a little bit. Hard tackle there. Got to land it on. So North Andover with excellent field position to start here, or over midfield, down to the Billerica Indians 42-yard line. Radulski, the quarterback. Ahern, Tim Ahern, one of the captains, 6'2", 205, is playing center today. Previously played some right tackle. There's the snap. Fake by Ahern. Beautiful. Smooth. Mencia smooth. Catching the Edelman, the Julian Edelman type pass. Goes out, clears under the defense, and Radulski picks him up. Gets it to him in a good place to catch and run. Radulski with Gavin, 5 blockers ahead of him.
Middle.
Fakes, and Radulski moving the ball. Gets about 6 or 7 yards out of that quarterback keeper. So 9. Schindler is in at quarterback.
Middle.
Schindler again lugging the leather. Gets a couple of yards. 3rd and almost 2. Vente is an extra blocker. Schindler, the quarterback. So here we are. This is an important play. Deep in the territory. Hands to Freddie, and he squirts left, right, and gets the first down in the red zone. First and 10.
First and goal to go
At the 10.
Inside the 10.
Ball is sit square in the middle. The point of the ball, I guess, would be inside the 10. So. Beautiful camera work here today. Chico in motion. Schindler with the ball. Breaks loose. Cuts. Nicely done.
Billerica keeps it for the Knights.
Down. About the 7 or so. Maybe the 8. What a good running around. Schindler still in. I think he's going to make the plays here. 3 receivers to the left. How tempting. 2 defenders out there. Drops back. Scrambling to his left. Finds someone open.
That's us!
It's a catch. Touchdown, North Andover.
Jeez, get to us! We got the ball!
The Knights are on the board. 6:39 to go in the half. And the Scarlet Knights on a pass by Schindler to the left-hand side, down by the goal line, and caught in goal for 6 points. The lineup here now with, looks like DeSalvo may be kicking. Timeout. Timeout, Billerica Indians.
Timeout, Billerica. The score North Andover 6, Billerica nothing.
Oh, yeah, all right. Grab So a lot of running here in the first half. Peter Radulski, number 18, the quarterback, had a couple of passes, led the team, and we've now substituted Schindler, who was the quarterback for several games at the beginning of the year, and he has thrown a touchdown pass just now. This is the extra point. It's down, it's up, and it's good. So here we are with 6:39 in the second quarter. North Andover on the board, 7. And the Billerica Indians yet to score. DeSalvo coming out with the ball to kick off. Overcast Friday afternoon here.
Thank you very much.
Mid-October. For years now, the Knights have been playing on Friday nights at 7 o'clock. We're playing now at 4 o'clock. I'm joined now by my co-commentator, Neil Crehan. Neil played a little football at, was it Hingham High School? Hingham High School, and basketball up at Bates. And we welcome him. He was here last week.
So Ray, what have I missed at the beginning of the
Well,
first quarter of the game?
you know, last week when you were here, there was a lot of running, feeling the other team out, trying to make the run work, setting blocks, and much the same this week. There wasn't a lot of passing by North Andover. And Billerica's defense overplayed the run. They tackled Freddie Gavin for short gains again and again. And we managed to do pretty much the same thing to them. So it's been a scrimmage. But, you know, as we get close to the half, I'm thinking either or both of them is going to open it up a little bit to get a score on the board here. Take a play.
Absolutely. So it looks like Billerica lining up 4 wide, 2 men in the slot. Number 1, Nolan Houlihan is the tailback.
Houlihan's listed at 6'3", 190, a senior.
He's quarterback, yep. So similar offense to what Drake had last week.
Yes.
Not a lot of fullback, not a lot of tight end action.
So he overthrows his receiver. Had a man there. The ball seems to travel well today. Nobody's underthrowing their throw. Max Wolfgang, our great tight end, is playing defensive end. And Defoe, who last week was 27 as the fullback, is playing some tackle and some offensive guard. There's a rush of the quarterback, has a receiver, and the ball is picked off. Is that Wolfgang? Who has that ball? 55, Carboni. Superb, opportunistic. The ball's popped into the air and recovered by North Andover's linebacker, runs it back down into the red zone.
It was an awareness play by Carboni that was not directly to him, but the receiver had the ball just about where the first down was, and after he missed the catch, he was able to catch it on the rebound. And also have the awareness to go the other way, gain over 20 yards on the run back and put North Andover within the 5-yard line.
34, Steve Brennan in on the tackle there for the Billerica. Squared him up. Some leg drive. Schindler still in at quarterback. Gives the handoff, running wide. Looks like Brutus, and he's brought down. May have lost a few yards there.
It's an interesting formation that North Andover went with there. They actually went unbalanced line, so actually lining up both tackles on the right side of the ball, leaving only the guard and the end on the left side, gaining an extra blocker. Billerica was able to recover right away. The toughest thing for a defense is to be able to recognize that in a short period of time of lining up the ball.
There's a ball towards the corner. Our receiver, Wolfgang, taken down. Fourth and goal at the 10. is a decision. It looks like Coach Dubzinski sending Schimler in with a play. So what have we saved for this situation?
Wolfgang lined up far side of the field. I think it's an opportunity for him to run either a fade or a slant play.
Brutus and Chico in the slot here on the right.
Get him, get him, get him!
Anybody rolling out to the right? Got to throw it up in the air.
No, no, no! No!
And he is able to get it in the area of Matt Chico, but looks like the ball hit the ground before he was able to bring it in.
Yeah.
Turnover on down.
Well, we have field position here. They're at the 10. There's a turn of momentum here. Let's see what happens. Is Billerica going to move the ball, or is North Andover going to continue to play good defense?
In the game of field position, North Andover seems to be dominating the second quarter.
So there's 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Houlihan ready to take the snap. The center for the Knights is Victor Ratana, 71. Hamilton just gets the first down. Had some running room out there.
Going to hurry up offense here.
Hamilton again. Same play.
Same look. They've got two tight ends.
Hamilton on the carry.
Two backs.
Picks up 6 on the
Shotgun
fly.
quarterback and then a flanker on the right
Second
side.
and 4.
So, although they're in shotgun, it's a power formation with two tight ends.
Yes. Good running formation for them.
Little misdirection counter to
Keep running, smash!
Ahern.
Another first down, it looks
34.
like, for Brennan.
Another first down.
Billerica getting a rhythm in this offense.
Yes, yeah, the ball's moving here. 10 yards a crack for them. 195-pound running back. Is now 27 with the ball. Back to Hamilton. Hamilton, Brennan, Hamilton.
Good tackle by the cornerback there, recognizing what they're going with and able to stop them at just 4 yards. Important play for North Andover to break up this momentum. Again, misdirection to number 34 on the left side. And number 2 for North Andover.
Stopped by Jack Williams.
Good tackle.
Timeout on the field.
Well, and our outstanding crew today, myself, Ray Ahern, Neil Crehan, broadcasting and commentating, and Sam Murray is running our on-field camera. And on the roof we have Bruce Duran, who's returned to participate this week, along with Nate Wilmot and Josh Kinane. And more as well. One player wide, other than that strong formation. 27 rambling out there again. They're just working on the edges. They're working on our defensive end, our cornerback, linebacker.
Yeah, it seems to be either that give or fake that and then misdirection. plays now, keeping it to a 3-yard carry. So see how they can handle this.
Inside handoff,
One.
and it's stacked up. Defoe out there along with others. But they get the first down.
It'll be interesting how Billerica handles the clock here. That's 4 plays. You know, able to get the first down, but at the same time only getting 10 yards.
Yes, and there's 2 minutes left, and at this rate, they wouldn't get the ball down in scoring position with these plays.
No, North Andover can just continue to bend, just don't
Here,
break.
here we are. He's looking for the big one. He's rolling out. Got a receiver coming back, but throws it out of bounds. Safe play. Just dump the ball off.
Christian Ortega on the coverage.
Don't make a mistake.
He's had an important tackle that stopped the momentum, and then coverage there on the opportunity where they did go for the deep ball. So
yeah. So 34 coming out for Brennan coming out of the game, substituted for. See if we get a receiver or another back. Probably a receiver.
Yep, they're back to that double slot formation.
87. Right here. Gavin Hillis.
And
Deep,
it's a
deep ball has
to-
him in the open, but just throws it. Actually, it comes down just out of bounds. It would be really difficult for anyone to have made that catch. So, Houlihan and the Billerica coach taking chances now. The coach for the last couple of years successfully here at Billerica is Dwayne Sigsbury, and Dwayne is an enormous man, a great presence, and it really gets the players fired up. Caught, but out of bounds, I would say.
Yeah, so it looks like
Ball is coming back, so.
now it's going to be 4th and 10.
So they managed to chew up clock and move the ball with 1:39 to go. 4th and 10. Do you want to leave North Andover a minute 39? Try for a first down here. Look, quarterback's coming in.
Lining up now. Trips left. One receiver to the right side.
Down the middle, has a receiver open, but defended beautifully. Got his hand in there. Broken up, as they say. Broken up. Jay Smooth. Jaden Mencia. I think somebody invented that name this week for him, and he's had a great game.
That was excellent coverage.
Yes.
Throughout the passing attempts Billerica did have.
So now I would be looking at Rodulski to throw something downfield from 139,
Yeah,
but
interesting.
this
You got-
quarterback runs more, so that might have been the thought of, oh, look at this.
Wolfgang.
Deep ball has a
Deep
man
ball.
open, and a flag on the field. A little holding going on.
A lot of contact with ball intended for Max Wolfgang, who typically lines up at tight end, and we've seen him at split end, but right there in that play, he lined up in the slot position.
Yeah.
And they just ran a seam the entire way.
Yeah, and they had two defenders on him at the point where the ball arrived. Ball was a little overthrown, but under the circumstances, you got two defenders on him. You don't want to throw it where someone can catch it, other than Wolfgang.
Yep. And with high school, it is a 15-yard penalty for pass interference, so it brings it up to the 30-yard line. And now that
And now we have 1st and 10, 127. Give it to Gavin. He cuts back.
Gavin on the carry for the Knights picks up 4 on the play.
That's a successful play when that play has a high probability, because he has that really nice cutback after they block off everyone from.
Yeah, last week he was able to score with just a couple the last 2 minutes on a draw play where he broke a couple tackles. So sometimes by spreading it out, it gives them an opportunity to make a play.
Yeah.
But on second down, they look to pass it and they get it to Max Wolfgang.
Wolfgang
Who refuses to go down. They called him down by forward progress, but excellent effort there.
Yes.
Able to pick up the first down.
Timeout, North Andover.
North Andover using only its first timeout. So they'll be on the 20-yard line with 2 timeouts, 50 seconds left. So
just under a minute. And as you said, with timeouts. And Wolfgang.
Yes.
and a group of good receivers as well. So this is a running quarterback with an opportunity to pass here. He's been out for a couple of weeks with a bad knee, I think. And let's see what Coach Dubzinski wants to call. Basically have the whole playbook here. You can call anything. Jet sweep. Wolfgang. 3 receivers to the short side of the field, and Wolfgang with 1 defender on him.
It looks like they'll bring a second defender over the top.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Flag on the play. Ball start, North Andover.
Oh, that's not good. There's a good field shot.
So it's like lining up same formation. They've got 2 defenders lined up on the left side of the field. Wolfgang. Down the middle of the
lets it.
field.
Oh,
Schindler attempt for number 3.
Brutus.
Ricky Brutus.
Brutus had broken away in the middle under the goalpost. A little overthrown.
Lined up trips left. Wolfgang by himself on the right side of the field now. And it's a little swing pass to Freddie Gabin, who is able to
Freddie Gabin on the pass for the night.
make it within the 10-yard line.
Down inside the 10 will be first
What looked
and
like
goal.
a safety option, Gabin in the flat ended up turning into a tremendous play there.
Yes, yeah. Years ago, I think we
Second
would
and
have
15.
called that a screen pass. Joe Montana-like screen pass
That,
out into the flat.
Yeah, that's it's a valuable asset to have a running back who can do that. Yeah, it's like Marshall Faulk who's
Yes.
able to catch that many balls, and you see it a lot in the NFL.
Schindler calls his own number down near the end
Schindler
zone.
on the carry for the night. Takes it down to the 3.
So here's a good shot. Here's a good video shot of the ball and the field, the end zone, right on top of the action. So 32 seconds. North Andover settling down to contemplate the play here. Short distance to the goal, fewer options than you had farther out. Let's see what coach brings in for players. Any extra blockers that tell us anything? Chico, Wolfgang, Brutus.
As well as Gavin, so
Pretty much the regular package.
not the traditional goal line formation. This gives them an opportunity to spread it out.
Walensky far left.
Back
Quarterback
to Gavin, rolls left.
And
He was able to catch it. That was
Schindler just lofting it into the end zone to a receiver coming across the field. It was Chico. Nice catch by Chico to hang on to the ball, score the points. So the Knights are, Billerica yet to score, and the Knights have 13, and here's DeSalvo to kick a point.
an incredible use of the clock there. Able to not even have to use 2 of their timeouts. So
Yes.
dialing up the right plays and
Yeah. And Schindler rolled left, and the clock is running and running, and he's not being tackled. And finally he found his open guy coming late across the field. So we're down to 25 seconds. North Andover up by 2 scores, 14-0. Close to halftime. Sam Murray down on the field with the camera, getting great shots. Has a nice shot of Billerica's line up for the kickoff. 5 men across the field at midfield. Ball is kicked deep. Nice crossing receivers. Shuttling. This generally is not good. 28.
ball down on the 15 and
My dad used to say, on the kickoff, it's all north and south. Don't spend any time shifting east and west.
with that amount of time, you can think about taking a touchback as well, just to save clock, depending on what type of 2-minute offense. Here in this case, 14-second offense you have, but they could have 20 seconds now. With 14 seconds left, and 1 timeout will be interesting to see what they go with. The last drive, really, everything was with 2 tight ends on short plays,
Yes.
churning out the clock, and then when they did go to the pass, North Andover was able to have excellent coverage. So with 14 seconds left here, and the ball on the, what is that, 15-yard line. I'm wondering if Billerica will decide to throw it or run it.
Brian Frazier, right down here. Creative shots.
North Andover with very, very deep coverage,
Yes.
and Billerica not even going to attempt to pass. And
Safe thing to do there.
yeah,
I mean, Billerica has an aggressive coach, but you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot.
no, that can be the, in that situation, it's difficult to try to
Yeah.
go for that.
Yeah.
And realistically, a draw might have just as good a chance as scoring as throwing a deep ball.
Yeah.
North Andover played it smart. They had 4 defensive backs, 15+ yards back.
Yeah, and they've shown that they can catch the ball at least as well as the Billerica receivers. So we're here at halftime. The band will be coming on the field, and we will be back with the second half. The score is the North Andover Scarlet Knights at Joe Walsh with 14, and the Billerica Indians yet to score. Come back for North Andover Scarlet Knights football on North Andover Cam.
To be able to get off the final play.
Oh,
So it looks like we'll have 1 more play left in the half, and they'll line up with double slots. Shotgun snap. Billerica
oh,
does
the
a
hook and ladder. And that gets some yardage into the scorebook, but doesn't affect the outcome of the game at all.
Good bend but don't break defense by North Andover in the second half. Able to hold Billerica scoreless.
So it's halftime here at Joe Walsh Stadium. North Andover Cable Access Media Sports Production. Bill Robert in charge of the whole operation, and a great group of professionals working here with us. Myself, Ray Ahern, Neil Crehan, Sam Murray with a camera on the field, and Nate Wilmot, Bruce Duran, Josh Grenane up on the roof, and Brennan Kaufman working on the TriCaster. So it's a great group of people to work with here. And announce yourself.
I'm Allie Joya. I'm working on graphics.
I have yet to meet Allie. She's a charming person, and she's done a great job with the graphics here in enhancing the production quality. So let's come back for the second half. North Andover, as we said, 14, Billerica nothing.
North Andover Scarlet Knight Marching Band is one of the many performing ensembles at North Andover High School. The 130-member ensemble performs throughout the state and in local competitions. The Scarlet Knights also perform at many local parades and provide entertainment and excitement for the many outstanding athletic teams at North Andover High School. This year's fall show is With Great Power. The Scarlet Knight Marching Band is led on the field by drum majors Evangeline Goslin, Anna McGrath, and Emma Puida. Color guard captains are Katie Coleman and Celia Wong. Assistant directors of the Scarlet Knight Marching Band are Chris Nelson and James Fortier. The director of the Scarlet Knight Marching Band is Mr. Justin D. Smalley. We would also like you to welcome the North Andover Middle School 8th grade band to tonight's game. Thank you for sitting with us.
So this is Neil Crehan with the broadcast and joined by Dave from the Eagle Tribune from Billerica. So joining us in the broadcast at halftime. Dave, what are your thoughts on the game so far?
Well, the two things that strike me was, of course, North Andover's defense has been really awesome, very opportunistic. But I felt the game turned around when they brought Will Schimmuller back into after missing a couple of weeks with his injury. I thought last week that they were going to be a little trouble unless they diversified their offense, and they did do it last week. But I'm looking at the first quarter, and they ran the ball right at the middle 8 out of 9 times, and I'm thinking this isn't working too well. Then they bring in Schimmuller, and he starts scrambling around. He starts throwing the ball, and all of a sudden they got 2 touchdowns. So I thought that was really the key in the game. But Billerica's known for their passing, and the fact that they're 2 out of 10 with 2 interceptions is pretty impressive with the North Andover defense. So.
Yeah, a lot of good defensive backs. North Andover, very opportunistic, and tips. Getting interception off of a tip.
That's right. That first interception, it was a slant play, but the ball got hit off looked like a broken up pass, and then the linebacker was able to catch it and turn around and get a good run there. So, yeah, the turnovers they were able to capitalize.
I'm not sure who had that tackle. Did you see that? Because that was a very aggressive tackle that caused the fumble and allowed Jack Carboni to get the ball.
It was one of the defensive backs from North Andover who really they were all making plays between Mencia, Chico, I believe. There was some tremendous coverage by the defensive backs on North Andover. And last week it was a scenario where the North Andover team was able to keep the offense on the field so long that they weren't really testing the defense. But today, North Andover's defense was able to absolutely hold up, and it looks like the only good action that Billerica was able to sustain was some short running plays. Yeah. But going into the second half, down 14-0, what do you anticipate they might come out with? What are you looking for? What are you keying in on for the second half?
Well, they're known for their passing, and the quarterback's highly regarded. But I would think based on the first half, they might try a few swing passes. Number 27, Hamilton, for Billerica, has been playing well the last couple of weeks, and he looked pretty good in the first quarter, so I wouldn't be surprised if they try and get him the ball on some short passes and see if he can take it up the field.
Yeah, they look good on those running plays, but obviously that chews up some clock. Maybe they'll move it to some short passing plays. That was successful for North Andover on a similar play when they had that swing pass to Gavin and able to break a long run for the goal line. What do you think is the key for North Andover going into the second half?
Well, I think just continue doing what they did in the second quarter, as far as their defense playing well and having a little diversity in their offense. I'm never a big fan of doing the same thing over and over again, and when they started doing a few different things in the second quarter, then that worked out a lot better. This is a pretty important game for both teams. They're both 3-3, and I think whoever wins it probably will have a home playoff game. So I think if North Andover wins, they might be hosting Westford or somebody like that next week.
And how does the playoff format work for high school? So it's not a scenario where you need to win the league. It's a certain seeding system where there's multiple rounds.
Yeah, there's a certain seeding system. Basically, the way it works is it looks like if you're 500 or over, you're probably going to make the playoffs.
Okay.
Which is good. However, it does create a lot of mismatches in the first round. There's
imagine, yep.
8 teams, so
3 games for the winner.
Somebody's going to, for instance, Lowell, I think, is qualified for the playoffs with 3 or 4 wins, and they're going to be the 7th or 8th seed, so they're going to make the playoffs, but they're probably going to play St. John's Prep or Central Catholic in the first game and get creamed. So you can make the playoffs. It's not that hard, but
you want to have a top 5 seed.
You don't want to
try to make it to the second
just
round.
make it in it. So that's
seeding's important for sure.
Seeding's important.
And I mean, North Andover, with the last 2 games, they have been able to score 55 points and hold their opponents to 14, which is pretty impressive given the fact that they started the year 1-3 at a certain point. You know,
They're definitely coming on at the right time, and I think some guys have matured and getting their quarterback back, and he looks pretty confident there. I think they'll be going in the playoffs, assuming they win today, with a fair amount of momentum.
and from what you've seen, what do you think is the biggest difference between that, the first 5 games and, from what we've seen this week and last week and most recently?
Well, I'll have to leave that up to you because I didn't see him much the first 3 or 4 weeks, but they just look like they're a more complete team now, and their special teams, I'm pretty impressed with that. And they got a good kicker, and in fact, I was kind of surprised they didn't go for a field goal there in the second quarter. I thought that would have been important, but anyway, I appreciate it.
Well, Dave, thanks for joining us at halftime.
Okay, my pleasure.
All right, enjoy the second half. Back with Ray Ahern ready to kick off the second half. And
that was Dave Dyer. His column will be in the Eagle Tribune in the morning. And I would say that, North Andover's last year, we had a lot of the seniors graduate and the team had a once in 30-year performance. So I think the returning players might have been a little tentative, and now they're starting to feel it, and they're starting to associate winning with each other, and it's a process.
For sure, and even for people who are starting for the first time at the varsity level, it takes 5 games before they gain any the experience that they need, and obviously they've been able to step up and fill that gap just the last couple weeks. Like I mentioned, 55-14 just in these last 2 games, so it's exciting to see them clicking at the right time.
Yes, those were last year. There were games when North Andover would score 44 points and the other team would have 7 going into the fourth quarter. So they dominated. They had a high ranking because of their scoring ratio versus their opponents.
So Billerica now opening it up a little bit with double slot formation. Quarterback sprint left, looking for
Deep
a
ball
flag
has
route.
a receiver and
Wow.
a catch at midfield. Gualtieri for Billerica. He's listed at 5'6", 155. He looks a little bigger than that, but he is a speedster, and he got into the deep left-hand part of the zone.
They've had multiple plays where they've thrown the ball just at the sideline. Finally able to connect on that one for over 20 yards. So we'll see if they go to the similar action. And they do. Looking for a 15-yard out, but incomplete pass.
Christian Ortega defending on that pass nicely. Essentially, Houlihan had to throw it away. He was in good position to make a play.
Billerica with the ball in North Andover territory for the first time in a little while.
Just over midfield. Houlihan back. Scrambling, gets away, but not downfield, and picked off. Nichols!
Sean Nichols with an excellent interception.
Coordination between his hands over his head and his toes trying to stay in bounds.
And I think he dragged his both feet in, so it would have been maybe trying to impress NFL scouts there with both feet down.
Yes.
Excellent play.
So Houlihan, a really fine quarterback, but he was moving to his left, didn't get the throw off on a good time, and the time ran out. It was a wobbly pass and not characteristic of him, but he was under pressure. Here's Matt Chico, a co-captain, outside, gets away.
Matt Chico on the carry for the Knights. Picks up 6 on the play, bring up 2nd and 4.
So Sean Nichols was obviously excited with that interception. He's 5'11", 155-pound senior.
Now that's the 3rd interception for North Andover's defense. So
Yes.
Penalty on the Knights.
Yeah, so Houlihan will probably be in the write-up tomorrow. That it wasn't so much that he had bad throws, but he was forced into throws that North Andover defended very well. So they must have watched a significant amount of tape on him. His Schindler to Chico, breaks away, has a blocker, he has a sideline.
crossing the 50.
He's heading down, and number 9 had the angle on him ultimately. Sean Colby wrestled him to the ground. But
Another big passing play for North Andover.
yes,
They've had now the 2 passing touchdowns, and Schindler was 5 for 7 in the first half, and in addition to that, there was a 15-yard pass interference play that also gained him yards. So very, very efficient every time they've thrown the ball. So lining up with 4 wide now with Wolfgang in the left slot, who runs as it looks like 4 vertical. So they just sent four men down. Outside men running fades, the inside guys running up the seams. Quarterback looking for one-on-one coverage, but too crowded in the end zone.
so Schindler in with a play from Coach Dobzinski. Now, first quarter, as we said at halftime, it was running, and more running, and now running seems to be an afterthought here.
Freddie Gavin on the carry for the
Freddie
Knights.
Gavin now, yep.
Picks up 6 on
It seems that last week it's always good to start the game getting the ball to Freddie Gavin, because he can make it so many different plays, and then off of that you can run misdirection, play action, and do a lot of different things. So it's interesting how they evolve and open up kind of in the second quarter in both of the last few games. But at any time you can go right back to him and expect him to get a situation where he's carrying the ball 2 times in a row, 3 times in a row.
Just for the offensive lineman, if you start the game early, blocking a lot, you manage to get control of the defender, and so it makes running and passing easier. It's positioning, confidence, execution.
So now they're looking power I. Looks like they just run an ISO to Freddie Gavin, but he fumbled the ball and recovered by Billerica.
They ripped that out. He was essentially stopped, but he's never stopped, and so there wasn't a whistle. Unfortunate turn of events. There's 8 minutes to go in the third quarter, and the score remains the same. There's been a lot of action, a lot of good football here in the third quarter, but the score remains the same. North Andover 14, Billerica yet to score.
Billerica lining up with 4 receivers, double slot, misdirection to the running back, quarterback. Able to take the option play for just a few. 3 yards.
2nd and 7 coming up. Players coming in with the play. Danette Seidel in there now at quarterback. He's going to run it. Breaks through the first line, but he's brought down by Walensky, it looks like, among others. Middle linebacker Carboni in on that play as well. Houlihan back in. Throws back across.
Number 25.
Dangerous pass, but completed.
Galtieri. He hit the play right by the sideline as well for a 22-yard gain on the last drive. He's been able to come up with some excellent catches here.
Yeah, he caught that ball right down here in the corner of the zone, the back corner. And he comes out wide here.
Lined up in the slot.
Seidel. And the ball probably came loose on that hard hit on the quarterback.
North Andover football.
1st and 10, the Scarlet Knights. So it's 5:30 in the afternoon here.
Trick play.
Chico trying to find Wolfgang. There was a triple team back there.
So that was an interesting play. It was a jet sweep to Chico, and then he threw the ball.
That did not work out in a number of ways. Chico is limping to the sideline now. He is really gimpy on that right ankle at least. Oh, he's in pain. Ouch. Yeah, they give him some water. That ought to help it.
Looks like Jaden Mencia will place him in the slot.
They like to call him Smooth Mencia.
And they go right to him on an out play. He catches
There
it,
he
cutbacks
is.
in.
So Mencia has come into his own here today, playing defense, offense.
1st and 10 Knights at the Billerica 14.
Ready to step in there and make first play. I think that I've seen him at the receiver position.
Yeah, he's usually back here playing one of the safeties.
Yep.
Opposite Chico.
So he'll line up in the slot again with Walensky. Wolfgang will line up split.
Wolfgang Farr.
With Brutus in the slot. But they go right up the middle to Gavin. And he's able to get...
Punches it through there for a good gain. 5 or more.
That's what you're looking for on first down. If you can get to 2nd and 5, that's good.
Yes.
Second and 6 is, a push. But if you can get 2nd and 5,
There's so many more things you can do with 2nd and 5.
It's the, and the difference is Billerica's been able to move the ball, but on a lot of 3-yard carries, which haven't been able to put them in a situation to convert on 4th down. And that's all the difference in the game. You can get to 5 yards versus 3, and this time they get 8 yards. Touchdown for Freddie Gavin.
Freddie Gavin just bursting through the middle. Quick handoff.
Similar to a touchdown he had last week in the red zone where they went 4 wide, draw up the middle.
Yep.
Able to break one tackle and spin for a touchdown.
He's very difficult to bring down, and he's fast. And he's not too tall. He's really compact. So there's not a lot to tackle. Extra point is up, and it's good.
Extra point is good.
So we're here in the third quarter. North Andover has three scores. The Knights 21. Billerica yet to get the ball in the end zone or score any points. So 5 minutes remaining in the third. Again, it's not yet 6 o'clock.
It's interesting that North Andover has been lining up Max Wolfgang in the slot as well as split end, even more so than at the tight end position.
Yes, yeah. The first few weeks he was simply the tight end, and he's such a big target, and he moves well. He's very athletic. Also plays some basketball. So
that's what you're looking for somebody who's going to be going up for jump balls in the end zone. He's a great target. And it's nice to have one person in the huddle who can come out at tight end block and then also be a threat, at split end. It gives you a lot of different options and versatility.
yeah, and matchups on defenders. North Andover feeling it now.
I'm telling you, Ray, in the last 2 weeks, this does not look like a team that started 1-3. I'm impressed.
Well, their first
really with
game,
everything that they've done.
Their first game was against Marblehead, a very underrated team, who was just quietly doing great things down on the North Shore. And they had an old school running back who every time you got near him, the knees would come high, and they found it very difficult to tackle him. And the confrontations were newer underclassmen against a guy doing something you don't see.
Right.
And so he had some runs where he'd run up the middle or he'd run off tackle, and you would think they were getting him down, but he would just break away. In a way, different technique, but what happens to Gavin? They're just unable to.
Sure, I was just thinking that sounds like Freddie Gavin.
Just unable to get him on the ground because of his style. The way he
yards after contact.
Yeah, his physicality is unusual in both cases. Marblehead, they've done very well. I haven't followed them the last couple of weeks. There's a ball on the ground.
So Billerica, they lined up in bunch formation, 3 receivers, all lined up close in the slot on the right side. They did a handoff to the back who was in the shotgun and then tried doing a quick reverse back to one of the guys in the slot coming back, but they fumbled it. It's always something that you got to be aware of if the team comes out with a formation that they haven't shown you yet in the game. So it's good to see that North Andover didn't give up any yards on that play. Neither of the trick plays have worked. Matt Chico got hurt on that one play, but it's good to see him that he's back in their game, making a big tackle on first down. Billerica lining up in double slot formation.
Houlihan completes the ball over the middle.
Back
to midfield.
Nicholas Gualtieri with his 3rd big catch now in the second half.
Yeah, he's listed as a senior at 5'6", about 165, and he's that kind of safety receiver. Just gets into an open area. Oh, through the hands. Sometimes in high school, you can throw the ball to the receiver a little too hard, given the angle. That was an unusual angle.
It's not the easiest catch running there, especially with the sideline.
Yeah, you're sort of like catching it with your hands in a not the normal position. Over, under, backhanded reception.
This is you know, good drive by Billerica, but again, the clock is going to be their worst enemy here.
Yeah.
And as they looked at
Houlihan wrapped up by 77 in North Andover. Jack Roche starting left offensive tackle. And Roche playing the inside tackle on defense.
he's listed at 6'5", 250, only a junior.
Yes.
Very physically imposing out there.
Yeah. Well, they have a good weight program, and the players do it in the winter, in the football season, and in the off season.
Putting Galtieri alone on the left side of the field. Quarterback scrambling. Able to slip a couple tackles.
Breaking loose there. But all things considered, it's 4th and more than 10, in spite of that nice gain.
They've really been in a tough spot all game, just being down, because when they've run the ball, they've been able to pick up first downs, but the clock has just been always against them more and more. And on the passing plays, North Andover's done an incredible job with 3 interceptions and multiple sacks or fumbles as well.
Yeah.
So
and defensing passes as well. So it's been. I don't think Billerica's experiencing what they had hoped.
The game last week, I remember North Andover had 3 touchdowns before Drake had run 8 plays, and it was a scenario where, you know, sometimes your best defense is good offense.
Yes.
But, you know, this game, North Andover's defense has been constantly tested and, you know, making incredible plays and stops every time. Not letting up much on the run, and then on the pass, completely stopping everything that Billerica's been trying to do. But Billerica will go back to pass with trips right, and
a little underthrown. Houlihan, for some reason, he didn't get the ball to the yard marker that he needed for a first down. The receiver was a couple of yards beyond, but the ball never arrived. But Houlihan was taken down a couple of plays ago, as I recall, so he might still be having some effects of that.
He's been put under a lot of pressure the entire game. Good job by the front of North Andover. Not getting a ton of sacks, but causing pressure almost on every drop back.
North Andover, they've changed the personnel on the defensive line, maybe one player at a time over these weeks. And they now have a lot of athleticism and size on the defensive line that I don't think they thought they had at the beginning of the year. So things are developing there, and it's been the performance of the defensive line has worked its way through the rest of the team.
Second and 8, trips right, fake to Gavin, swing pass to Ricky Brutus, but taken down for no more than a yard. Is that number 25 again, Nicholas
Yes,
Galtieri?
On the tackle.
He's shown up in the second half with quite the effort. He had 3 big catches, tackle there, but not enough for Billerica. And North Andover running out the clock.
So it looks like this is the end of the third quarter. So time has expired here at Joe Walsh Stadium in the third quarter. of the North Andover Billerica game here in October of 2019. And the score is the Knights 21 and Billerica nothing. We'll be back with the fourth quarter. You're watching North Andover Cable Access Media Sports. The producer of this show is Bill Robert. And we're happy that you're here with us watching great football. So Schindler, quarterback with Gavin. Brutus out this side. Looking for him deep to
Max Wolfgang.
Max the Wolf.
And down maybe on the 1 yard line. On a 3rd and 8. They went 4 wide. They ran that same action with 4 vertical routes, and Max Wolfgang was able to bring in a great catch. Great throw and catch.
Schindler looked very comfortable on that pass. It looked like he has really settled into the game this evening. He was relaxed, got the ball up to try for the points.
Up the middle for Freddie Gavin, just short. So that's that same action where they have Max Wolfgang in the slot rather than the split end, and
yes,
call on the pass interference in the first half, and then that play right there. So it's interesting that we've seen him more and more of that throughout the game, and obviously identifying some sort of mismatch and really expanding the offense.
He's running with Brutus outside of him, and in the practice today they ran that pattern, and they ran that pattern with Brutus on the outside and Wolfgang running down the middle. And then Brutus, 15 yards downfield, would cut to the middle of the field underneath the area Wolfgang had just gone through. And he made a nice jumping two-handed catch over his head in practice. So there's a lot they can still do with that, that opportunity on that side.
Yeah.
It's not just going to be Wolfgang. You can clear the area out with Wolfgang and then bring Brutus across the underneath him, and he's got the ball verging to the middle of the field under full speed with nobody covering.
So Freddie Gavin with the touchdown there, punching in with the goal line formation. Seems to be seems that them since the second quarter, or North Andover since the second quarter, has been going double wide and passing a lot more than what I've seen over the last game and a half, and really opening up the offense.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, he delivered the ball to Wolfgang on that long pass. It was timed up. Everybody, he released it on the in sync with the receiver. The receiver, it came down perfectly for the receiver to take it in stride.
Difficult kick to handle there for Billerica.
Oh, there's a ball on the ground.
Drop it, able to recover it, but they'll be in tough field position inside their own 10. Also, when they go with double slots, it's an opportunity to give Freddie Gavin a situation where he can go up the middle, but also have more space than when they start off in an I formation. So it's a scenario where the passing plays and putting the pressure on the defensive backs and splitting it out can open up running opportunities as well. So. And you've seen a lot from Billerica running the same formation as well. But, North Andover has been able to capitalize in a much different way. big hit.
Nichols.
Galtieri able to hold on to the ball for the first down, though. Billerica with double slot formation. Underneath route.
Houlihan, nice quick release. Got the receiver coming across.
Good tackle by Jake Lewinsky, though.
Pick up a 3 on the play and bring up 2nd and 7.
Three-man defensive front for North Andover, but they rush 5.
Sean Colby with the first down catch. Billerica now starting to get in rhythm here with a couple first down catches, but might be a little too late.
Ortega hurt his ankle on that defensive play, but he's out there covering the wide receiver. Houlihan looking for and sacked. Brought down beautifully. Jack Roche. Jack Roche, offensive tackle, played last year. Defensive end and tackle.
Now, is that his second sack of the game?
It might be. I recall calling his name
At least
5 minutes ago. So he's having a good game.
Billerica now in a 2nd and 22 situation after that long sack. Jack Roche again with the pressure, causing quarterback to run. Houlihan able to pick up some yards, but still in a scenario will be 3rd and long.
This new monitor in front of me here is great because I was just watching Wolfgang, who's listed as the defensive end, but he was playing as a linebacker, and he started before the snap on the right side of the ball, came across the his 3 defenders in front of him, and set up on the left side. And as soon as the ball was snapped, he dropped back to get into the area played by a safety. So they're trying to confuse Houlihan, and nobody better to do it than someone as tall as Wolfgang.
And North Andover with another sack for a huge loss.
North Andover, just frustrating. Iannarone, one of the co-captains, in on that tackle. They're just frustrating a good Billerica team. The Billerica has to be very disappointed at this point because they needed this win to get into the playoffs. They'll have to regroup and see what they can accomplish next week.
And this will put North Andover into the playoffs.
I heard 2 different ways that they hadn't yet to qualify, that they had already qualified. So I'm not quite sure, but I asked the coach before the game, and he said, it's not important. The only thing important is this game.
It's the right attitude.
Exactly. He said, I don't know. It's not important. Sometimes you don't want to know.
No, you just want to focus on that game. But with a 500 record, hopefully they'll be able to get in the playoff and keep this streak going. Now 3 straight wins. Unbelievable second half of the season for North Andover.
Yeah. I think the Herald had a quick line about them this week that they were now starting to play and going to be dangerous against whoever they played in the playoffs.
Freddie Gavin with the handoff running to the outside. Or was that Ricky Brutus? That's right, Ricky Brutus.
Yeah, the red and black is a little different to distinguish under shadows in these lights.
He's another player on offense that you can line up in multiple different positions.
Yeah.
A lot of versatile players. The coaches do a good job of putting them in different.
The coaches spend a lot of time with film
different
themselves, and they spend a lot of time with film with the players. You can spend a lot of time, but it really comes down, in the end, it comes down to conveying just enough information, and that's teaching. And Coach Dobzinski does a very good job.
Yeah, there's really important high school football, especially people could be playing their second year of football for the first time in an organized way. And there's so many intricacies to the game that having a good coach makes the biggest difference in the world. And to be able to run a complex offense with multiple different looks and execute it at the way that they are is definitely a testament to a well-coached team. Sometimes teams will come out with the same formation and just run the same 5-6 plays. And if it works, it works, but North Andover has a lot of different looks, and I think they've put people in a position to be successful, either the way that they move Ricky Brutus around, give Freddie Gavin the ball, looks in I formation like this, or shotgun, and then also Wolfgang. It's a tough offense to stop.
Here's Radulski back in the game, makes a completion. That might be Walensky, I'm not sure. Or is it Vente?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was a different look. They ran I formation, and it was a fake toss play action. Freddie Gavin taking the attention of Billerica's defense. Still opening up the playbook in the fourth quarter.
So there's 5 minutes to go in the game, and Radulski is back in at quarterback. It's good to spread the experience around at this point in the year. I formation, Radulski under center. And the defense of Billerica, 50-44. They just swarmed to the ball there. Ryan Hogan. Vente coming to the sideline. Played some running back last year, some fullback. He's a very athletic defensive tackle. There's a
play by Ricky Brutus.
Brutus just breaking the ankles of about 5 defenders. What?
Down within the 5.
Where did he go?
Unbelievable play.
He was here a minute ago. That was just great balance.
I was just going to say, the clock is their best friend here. They don't need to score necessarily, but score will always work.
That was a great run. Brutus was not on this team last year. He was transferred in, and he's become a very important part of the team.
Back to him.
Back to Brutus.
Unbelievable, and he makes another difficult run to pick up the yards, get the score.
The formation of that play calls for the quarterback and the 2 potential runners to be in the same place at the same time with the ball, which just made the defense converge on the 3 of them. So Brutus was fortunate, and it's a testament to his talent that he managed to get away from the tackling for a loss there and turn it into something good. here's the extra point. And the point is, again, good. So we're down to 2 minutes in this game. Salvo's coming onto the field to kick off to Billerica. And the score is the Knights 35 and the Indians have not put a point on the board this evening.
This would be the first shutout for North Andover, and also the first time that they're over 500. And I think it's also the biggest scoring margin that they've had this year. So really, kind of the turning point for the season moving forward.
Yes, it's come together now. They're feeling it now. There's an aggressiveness out there on whether they're out there on special teams or whether playing on the defense or the offense. Everyone's involved. No one's standing watching somebody else make a play. They're feeling it.
They want the shutout, I think. And they should.
Yes. So timeout with 1 minute. There's nothing in doubt here.
And when the offense wasn't really clicking in the early part of the first quarter for North Andover, the defense was able to hang in there in the entire game and never put them in a situation where they were behind. And then when they started to open up with the passing in the second quarter with Schindler, it was no looking back from there. So really
Yes.
a complete game from the defense. And in terms of the big plays, unbelievable sacks, fumbles, 3 interceptions, and really no gaps in the defense in terms of letting up big plays for Billerica at all. Outside of the first downs and the great plays by Nicholas Gualtieri, there wasn't much offense at all. So hats off to the defense.
Three games ago, the offense was productive, not sensational, but the question was the defense. I think it was the second or third game of the year. They had trouble tackling on the linebackers and linemen.
Oh, and it looks like it was
And
face masking.
Yes, a face mask penalty marked off against North Andover. North Andover in a timeout huddle. Zabzinski and the coaches talking it over with the defense.
Billerica lined up with trips right, one receiver on the short side of the field left, shotgun formation.
Houlihan looking in the middle again.
Looking for Gualtieri again.
Yeah. Likes to spread the field out and then bring that easy pass over the middle, a high percentage pass. Well, players getting water and electrolytes and making sure they're flexible in the last minutes here where there's a lot of time between plays.
Lined up in double slot formation, motion right. It's a handoff.
Back to Houlihan.
Back to Houlihan on the trick act trick play, but good defense by North Andover, anticipating it, playing it back, and brought down by number 12, Angel Gonzalez.
Ortega, number 11, played a lot of defense back in the backfield this evening, but I saw him over on the sidelines here, and he had a cramp. Somebody was trying to get that cramp out. So Dave Dyer said he expected Brian Hamilton to see some action, some passes perhaps, and that was Brian Hamilton there bringing that ball in on that trick play. Try to get them into a place to score before the clock expires. Man in motion, and Houlihan looking for another play, I think, from the coach.
Quick action again. It's a lateral, and then a pass, and intercepted to what will cap off an amazing night for North Andover Scarlet Knights. An interception in their own end zone for a touchback.
That trick play was Hamilton catching the screen pass towards the sideline and throwing it downfield, and it was just well covered. So that's it. The North Andover defenders constantly in the right place at the right time tonight. It's very frustrating for Billerica to try to accomplish anything on offense, and then North Andover scoring and scoring again. So it's been a pleasure. It's a beautiful night here in October. For myself, Ray Ahern, and Neil Crehan. For the camera on the field with Sam Murray. For Nick Kissel, Bruce Duran, Josh Guinane, and with statistics, Ali Joya, and on the TriCaster, Brennan Kaufman. We're glad you were with us. We enjoyed the game. We hope you did. We look forward to seeing you here next week. For North Andover Cable Access Media, for Bill Robert, who puts this whole thing together, we thank you for being here. Look forward to doing it with you again.